I got something really cool. Now, you can probably guess I'm kind of nerdy, and I embrace it, but only about a certain number of things. Not everything. I'm a little selective in my nerdery. And I came across this. This is the Mandalorian 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle with Mando, Baby Yoda. Yeah, I call him Baby Yoda because that's his name. Grogu, get that mess out of here. Whatever you want to call him, I don't care. So, one, how adorable is that? Look at him, he's got his little ball, he's reaching for it. So stinking cute. But two, I like putting puzzles together. They're fun, and this will be a good thing for me and my family when I go visit them on vacation to do together. However, this puzzle actually got me thinking about my favorite analogy for teaching the Bible. That's kind of a stretch, right? Star Wars Mandalorian puzzle, the Bible? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why. Hang with me for a second. But first, if you're new to this channel, take a look around, see what kind of content we produce, and if you like it and you want to support this ministry, then the best way to do that is by subscribing to this channel, liking this video, and clicking the little notifications bell on YouTube. Seriously, that's like currency for people on YouTube. It's so helpful. Go ahead and do it. I'll wait. Okay, so let's talk about puzzles. Now, what do you do when you get a puzzle? First thing you do, well, obviously, you open it. Cool, this one's got a poster in it. Lovely. We're gonna put this aside for right now though. And when you open a puzzle, you've got all these pieces. So many. In this case, they bag them. They probably do that with all puzzles. I just am out of the puzzle loop. But we're gonna open this. Now, think about this. If I wanted to put this puzzle together, what do I need to do? Well, obviously, I think there are actually YouTube puzzle channels out there. In fact, I know there are because I've seen a couple of them. They're oddly satisfying. So, first thing I do is what? I find the edge pieces. Of course. I find the edge pieces, well, there's one now, because they're easy to find. They have this one flat side, and once I have these in place, then it's easy for me to fill in from the outside in. Now it may meander, I may get a little bit coming from this side and then a little bit coming from this side and then something comes from the top and then I may just go with that, but I'm filling in the puzzle from within that framework. That's how most people do puzzles. Now think how long it would take if I had this puzzle and I said, okay, here's a piece, here's another piece. Let's see if these fit. Try this side. Ooh, almost. No, doesn't fit. No. Close. No. Well, I just can't get this piece to fit. I should probably just throw it away. That would be crazy, right? If I went through piece by piece, tried every side, and if it didn't fit, just said, get rid of that one. Next puzzle piece. Try every side. No. Doesn't fit. Try it. Okay. Oh, no. Close. So close. No. How frustrating would that be? I would probably want to give up the puzzle. Unless you were just a very devoted puzzler. Is that what they're called? Puzzlers? You would probably get frustrated and give up. However, when you assembled the edge pieces and you got the framework of the puzzle in place, then it might be a little frustrating at times when you couldn't find any pieces that fit, but you would at least know what you're trying to do and it would make it more enjoyable. And that's how you put a puzzle together. That's what Bible study should be. In Bible study, I have this library that spans thousands of years of history, 3 different languages, 3 different continents, over 40 different authors. If I just come to this randomly, I'm going to read this verse. Okay, I may get something from it. Now I'm going to turn here the next day, and now I'm going to read this verse. Could you work your way through the Bible that way? Maybe, but how frustrating would that be? How little would you actually understand what's going on? And that's how a lot of people approach Bible study. They do the equivalent of taking out pieces of a puzzle and trying to randomly fit them together and then saying, well, this puzzle maker clearly isn't any good because I can't get these pieces to fit. This collection of books clearly can't be divine because God would never make something so confusing. Is it really the fault of the puzzle maker, or are we setting ourselves up to be frustrated? So when you study the Bible, here at Disciple Dojo, we have a lot of resources that help you understand not just the pieces, but how they all fit together. So if you haven't already, check out some of the resources that we have here on the channel. We have tons of videos. Some of them are silly, some of them are nerdy, some of them are a little more serious, and then some of them actually teach through books of the Bible. We also have entirely free Bible study courses. You can do them individually or you can do them in a small group. And one of them, this one, Bible for the Rest of Us, is an entire course, 20 sessions, with a free downloadable workbook, and it's on how to understand the Bible. We start with breaking it down. What is the Bible anyway? And then we look at session 3, finding the edges. That's this analogy that I'm talking about. All of these are free and they're available for you to do yourself individually or with your small group, as a church or a campus ministry. And if video is not your thing, check out the Disciple Dojo podcast. If you're on the run, if you're driving in your car, if you're working out, walking the dog, doing laundry. Again, we have entire teaching sessions that walk you through different books of the Bible, different themes in the Bible. Here's an entire course on understanding the end times. It's called Apocalypse Now, what the Bible teaches about the end times. And this is for those of you that think, oh my gosh, I hear all about the end of the world and Armageddon and the Middle East and Israel and nuclear weapons and barcodes and vaccines, and what do I think of it all? Well, this course walks you through in 10 sessions, audio sessions, how Christians and how Scripture itself has approached the concept of the end times. We also have an entire course, both video and podcast, called To Know and Be Known, Forming a Thoughtful Christian Sexual Ethic. What is the Bible as a whole, not individual verses, but the whole scope of Scripture? What does it teach about sexuality, about things like marriage, divorce, same-sex ethics? Questions that really matter in our society at this moment. How do we think about them? Not what to think about them, but how do we think about them? And that's the goal here at Disciple Dojo. We want to teach you how to think biblically. We want to get you to be able to appreciate the fullness of the puzzle, not just your favorite individual pieces. Let's say I'm a real nerd and Star Wars is my religion. So I wake up every morning and let's say this is the puzzle that's been left to me to live my life according to. And I get up in the morning and I look at this piece. I pull it out, I meditate on it. I thank the Force for giving me such a beautiful piece. I may even tell people how beautiful this piece is. I mean, it's got purple and then there's this dark streak. How cool is that? Isn't that amazing? Doesn't that change your life? Bear with me, it's an analogy. So I take this piece, I put it in my pocket, I go throughout the day. Whenever I'm having a difficult moment, I stop. Let me just meditate on this piece for a minute. Okay, I feel better. I keep going, and then I come home at the end of the day and I take this piece. Thank you for this piece. Great person I'm praying to. And I put it back in the box. Next day, wake up, a new piece. I ponder this piece, I think about this piece. This is the best piece yet. Look at it. It's got these little white specks on it, but then it's pink. That's gorgeous. How amazing is this piece? Thank you, Force, for this piece. I know I'm mixing all. I can see like nerds' heads exploding because like Mandalorians don't know about the Force. Again, it's an analogy. Relax. So I take the piece. I think about the piece. I love the piece. I may tell people about the piece, and put it back in the box. Now, what if that were my life? What if that's how I lived every day? Would I ever know what this image was? Would I ever get an understanding of what the creator of this puzzle, Buffalo Games and Puzzles, I get no money for this, by the way. Would I ever have an appreciation of what this image is in its fullness? No. All I would know was that I had a lot of these little pieces and they're pretty cool. I would be missing so much. That's what a lot of people do with Bible study. They wake up in the morning, get ready to do their quiet time. They say, oh, Jesus got me to a verse, and then they read it. And then that's their verse for the day. Maybe it's inspirational. Maybe it's a great verse. Maybe it is motivation. Maybe it is a really nice piece. But if we don't ever read the context, if we don't ever understand the story, if we don't put the edges in place, and then start to fill them in, we never really see the picture that this thing is painting. We miss out on so much of what the author, the creator, has for us. So I want to challenge you, Disciple Dojo, we want to challenge you to not just memorize Bible verses. Nothing wrong with that. We're not against memorizing Bible verses, but chapters and verses weren't even added into the Bible for centuries. So when you're reading a Bible verse, don't ever read it in isolation, because that's like looking at one piece of the puzzle. Try to see where your favorite Bible verse fits within the book. And then how does that book fit within the testament that it's found in? And then how does that testament fit with the other testament of the Bible? And how do they all fit together? Once we start doing that, then the pieces start to fit together. But it's intimidating. I mean, this makes a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle look like one of those blocks and shapes things that you give toddlers. I mean, there's so much complexity to the Bible. It is a hard to understand book. We may have an idea, but at the end of the day, competent biblical interpreters will say, this is what I think is going on here, but I'm not entirely sure, and I'm going to trust that eventually the pieces will fit together as we learn and fill in more of the gaps in our understanding, both individually and collectively as a body. So, if you've never started to put together the puzzle and you want to know where to start, check out our Bible for the Rest of Us course. It's entirely free. We walk you through session by session, and at the end of it, at least you will then have a big picture understanding of this library we call the Bible. That's all for now. If you want to see even more blending together of geekiness and scripture, then hop over and check out our Superhero Seminary playlist. We have a couple of videos in particular. We have one on the Mandalorian, Saul of Tarsus, and the Way. And we also have one where Mando and Dr. Grogu explain the proverb of training up a child in the way he should go. So hop on and check those out, as well as our other ones. They're fun, they're ridiculous, and you may learn a little something in the process, I hope. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time here at Disciple Dojo.